Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I just was driving through the apartments and saw your van with the "We'll buy houses full price."
Yeah, you have a house you wish to sell?
Yeah, I got a house in the city for sale. I am about to actually be foreclosed on the place, and rather than let it go to waste like that, I'd like to, walk away with a couple of dollars, and somebody could have an opportunity to, do a little work to the place and flip it.
Right, right. That's actually our specialty. Did they give you a date or anything yet, or
To give what? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
did they give you an auction date or anything yet?
No, no, they haven't. And when I talk to them about the situation, I've been on the phone with them a lot about it and everything. See, what happened is I was living in the house, paying the mortgage for 15 years, and my dad fell and broke his hip 2 Septembers ago. And I had to move in with him to take care of him, and then he died 9 months later. So I inherited his house in South County. So I have a bad leg, okay? I have a bad hamstring, and I've lost 2/3 of my business. I run a lawn service, okay? So I haven't been able to maintain two houses, okay? And so I fell behind on the payments with the place in the city. And so, it's just one of them situations where I'm just in the situation I'm in. It just is what it is. And
Right,
they
right.
haven't. They've told me that I could sell the place even after I would be foreclosed on. I don't know how that works. I guess they would rather get their money right away instead of having to mess with the place.
Yeah, that'll
But
cost them money because if they take it, they'll have to wait a period of time and go through a lot of legal stuff, and it costs them a lot of money to take a house back. So they usually want to work something out with you prior to doing it. Banks don't want houses; they just want those payments coming in.
sure.
Right, right.
Well,
So what how much is still owed on the house?
I still owe 25 or 26, something like that on it. And, I mean, I've been paying on the mortgage for 15 years. I paid $40,000 for this house, okay? And, like I've spent $10,000 on having a garage built. And, I mean, you could probably knock the house down, and the property and the garage alone are worth, what I would like to get for the place. I mean, if you could give me like $31,000 for the house, I'd be happy. I'd
Right,
walk away
right.
with a few grand and, pay off the mortgage. And the house needs a back porch to be torn off and steps put back up, toward the back door. And it needs tuck pointing and some windows. Other than that, there's nothing wrong with the house. I mean, I had a bathroom built downstairs. You know, I mean, it's a shotgun bungalow, okay, and
Hmm.
right now the yard looks horrible. I mean, if you were to go over and look at the property, you'd think, oh man. But I mean, once the grass all gets cut and the wild trees get knocked down and everything like that, it's a nice little yard. It's not a bad little house. It's a one-bedroom shotgun bungalow, and it's perfect for a single person or a couple. And
Hmm.
you could possibly even have a child live in there. I mean, there's a basement, with, like I said, I had a bathroom put downstairs, so there's a secondary bathroom. And, I mean, I was living in the place. I didn't have a problem with it, but my dad fell, and I had to move in with him. And it just happened that way. My brother passed away, and my sister's in a nursing home dying, and all kinds of crap has slapped me in the face in life all at once. That's just to name a couple of things. But,
Wow. Yeah.
like my dad fell, so 6 days before he died, he was in the hospital, and I had a lawyer go up there and have him sign some papers. Otherwise, I would have lost the house here to probate.
That's smart. At least you got that taken care of. A lot of people don't know that because probate can be a whole nother booger. You don't want to deal with them. You never get done with it.
Well, yeah, the house would have been sold, and half would have gone to me, and the other half the state would have taken for taking care of my sister in the nursing home.
They're all about taking stuff away from people. That's right. What
Yeah,
is the
man.
monthly payment that it is on this house? I know you said it was 26,000 owed. How much is the monthly payment?
The monthly payment's only $360 a month.
And does that include property taxes, insurance, and the principal
Yes,
and the
sir.
interest, all of it? Okay, so all
Yes.
inclusive payment. So that's
Took
good.
care of
And
everything.
how long has it been vacant for?
Oh, I've been out of there for 2 years now. He fell 2 Septembers ago. I kept calling him one day and he wouldn't answer the phone, so I went over there and found him on the floor with a broken hip. And
Wow.
so I had to move in with him and take care of him, you know. I mean, that's just the way it goes, you know. And he was 89 years old when he broke his hip, and he was 90 when he died. So he did pretty good in life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad only made it up to about 70, so I was like, man, you never know how long somebody's really going to go. But then I got a grandmother, she's 96, and she's outlived everybody. So
Yeah.
I guess everybody's life is different, right? So, so we got all of this here. And so have you thought about listing the house with a real estate agent or something like that?
Have I thought about doing what?
Listing your house with a real estate agent or anything like that?
Oh, I've listed it a couple times, man. And I don't know why no one has the first real estate agent, I think he sat on his hands. The second guy had a lot of people looking at it and a few people interested in it, but I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, freak out because they think they can't get an occupancy permit until the back porch is fixed, which may be true. But I mean, if anybody would just take a good look at this house and see that, you know, yeah, it needs some work. It needs, like I said, the back porch needs to be torn off and some steps. Unless you'd want to build a deck or something, you know, that's more expensive. But the back porch is in ruins, okay, and the windows, there's some windows that need to be replaced, and it needs tuck pointing on both sides of it. The front of the house has already been tuck pointed nicely. Somebody did a crappy job tuck pointing the thing before I ever bought it. But, you know, I mean, it just depends on how much money you want to make. You know, a lot of these guys, you guys that flip houses, if they can't make 30, 40 grand, they don't want to touch it. I mean, I don't know. You might only make 8, 10 grand in the end. I don't know. But I mean, hey, isn't money money? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, some people get picky like that and they just like, well, if it's not 30,000 profit, I don't want to touch it. Like, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, if I was flipping houses, man, if I could, you know, do one of those a month and make 10 grand a month, I mean, that's not a bad living. You know?
Right. So is that loan still in Dad's name?
Is what now?
Is the loan still in your dad's name?
That's funny you say that, man. What made you say that? How'd you know that?
No, I'm asking. Is the loan still in your dad's name? Because we do these houses all over St. Louis, and it's really, you know, you'd be amazed some of the stories I could tell you. We've got houses with people on deeds. We had a house where we bought where a guy had his girlfriend put on a deed before he died, and we had to get her off. I mean, it goes deep with this stuff. I mean, you don't even want to know how far the rabbit hole can go in these type of situations. But that's why I was just asking: is the loan still in his name?
What I explained to you was, I had my dad sign papers so that I wouldn't lose the house to probate. The house I'm living in now in South County, the one in the city, it's just coincidentally it is in his name.
That's not a problem. So that's why I just wanted to know, because sometimes the bank don't even know that the person on the deed is deceased. See, people don't understand it's separate. Your loan and your deed for your house are separate things. They don't go together. They just think it has to go together because that's what we've been taught. But they are two separate, transactions basically.
Okay, well the mortgage company I go through, they said that all I got to do is fax my dad's death certificate and these papers. See, my sister and I didn't get along years ago, and I was worried about if something happened to my dad that she'd try to take half my house from me when he passed because it was in his name. So I went to this lawyer years ago and had some papers signed, my dad and I, so upon his passing, the house would go to me. Well, all that's been taken care of, and the same lawyer that took care of the house in the county for me took care of the work of the house in the city. So all I got to do is fax my mortgage company my dad's death certificate and the paperwork showing that the house would go to me upon his passing. So I got all my ducks in a row as far as that go. I just need to find somebody that will invest in this house, you know. And
right.
You know,
not a problem.
man, I'd love for you to go by and take a look at it and see if you feel like, making a buck on the place. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be your biggest, best investment, you're going to make huge money, but I know you can make something on it, and I mean, I'd rather make a few dollars and walk away from that house with a few dollars in my pocket. I spent 10 grand on a garage. I had the inside redone. I had crown molding all put up, new ceilings, new floors, and, like I had the bathroom in the basement and everything. And I mean, I hate walking away from the place with nothing. I don't want to let the place just go,
Yeah, and you're doing the right thing to try to see what options are available. And what was your name again? And I'm Chris, by the way. So, yeah, we specialize in these type of things. So, I mean, believe me, I'm here to help you in any way I can. It's not about trying to make $1 million on one deal. We do a lot of houses all over St. Louis. But our main thing is try to help you out and make it easiest for you. So, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So that's not a problem. Are there contents still in the house, like furniture, debris, leftover stuff like that still in the house?
There's one cabinet and one recliner in the house, and I want to get them both out of there. That's all that's left in there. There's a few things in the basement. There's a washer and dryer that I'll leave there. There's a stainless steel refrigerator in there that I need to get out of there. But if you, were to give me, the right amount of money, I'd leave it there. It's not a bad refrigerator. It's, not bad at all. And,
right.
I mean, the house needs some painting on the inside. Since it's been vacant, some of the paint is cracked from the heat and the cold, and okay, I'll just tell you this. Here's everything wrong with the house. The back porch, the windows, the tuck pointing, the toilet upstairs cracked because of the cold weather because, I wasn't staying there, so I have the furnace on. So the toilet upstairs cracked. It needs a new toilet upstairs. And the air conditioners got screwed up. But the furnace, I had a new heat exchange put in it. And, like I say, you work on the AC, you get a new toilet in there, and whammo, the place is inhabitable. And, meanwhile, there's the bathroom downstairs,
Okay.
I think it'd be your interest to go take a look at the place. I don't understand, other people that don't flip houses, someone that's just looking to buy a house to live in right away, they're freaked out. Oh, I can't do that work, so they don't buy it,
Exactly.
But somebody like you that does this kind of thing, you shouldn't be scared of this. We
can handle it.
Yeah, I think you can.
But that's not a problem. How do I go about getting inside of it if I want to see it? Is it on a lockbox or something, or need to make an appointment, or what is your process for that?
Well, I tell you what. Do you live down there in Jefferson Apartments?
Yeah, I live right in South County, so I'm nearby.
I mean, I saw your van in JB Townhomes. Do you stay down there? I mean, I could meet you.
Yeah, I live
there.
in South County. Yeah, I live in South County, so I'm nearby, and I'm all over St. Louis anyway. So I have a store downtown too. So I'm between here and downtown all the time.
I could meet you sometime tomorrow somewhere and give you the keys to the place, man,
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And this is the best number here, the one you're calling from? Is that the best number to reach you at?
Yeah, the number I just called you from, that's my cell phone.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so like I said, we can do all different type of things. What I would do is take a look at the property, see if it's something, everything sounds like it's pretty much, basic stuff. Make sure, something that we can deal with as far as that, which I think we can. And we would take the house pretty much as is. You wouldn't even have to do anything with it, if it's up to me. I'll try to make it as easy as possible to where you don't even have to go back in the house if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. I know when you got
I just want to get the cabinet out of there. The cabinet and the recliner, and then there's some things in the garage. There's another washer and dryer out there I want to get out of there. A friend of mine just got another house, and he wants those. And, there's a few, just odds and ends in the garage I got to clear out of there. But if my leg wasn't messed up, man, I would have been keeping this place, and I was thinking about renting it out, and it's down Grand from SLU. I know there's probably a student or something out there that would love to rent that house for $700 a month or something, and
exactly,
just drive down Grand to get to SLU. And
what about the plumbing? I know you said it was no heat in there for a while. So did that mess up the plumbing and the freeze the pipes or anything like that?
No. The pipes aren't frozen. The water's been shut off, so all the water's been drained out of the lines and whatnot. So the piping's the plumbing's fine, other than the toilet upstairs being cracked and broken. The plumbing's fine, and it's got a newer electrical panel on it and everything. I mean, when I bought the house, I was 38 years old, and I was excited, and I mean, it wasn't a bad little place. It was perfect for me. I mean, I had girlfriends over, and grilled food outside.
You had a good time in there, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. And then, life happens, and I had to vacate the place, and then since then, all kinds of crap's happened, and I've just had a rough go of it, man. And the house is in disarray now, and it's in disrepair a little bit. And it just needs somebody to get in there and give it a little TLC and bring it back to life. What sucks is my brother died 2 years ago, and his house went to shit. And then I drove past it the other day and saw, the bank had taken it back, and from my sister-in-law and stuff, and somebody fixed it all up, and they got their doggies in the backyard, and they got the house going again, and I mean, that's how that crap goes. Somebody's going to get this house and going to make a little home out of it.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's what I want to tell you, too. So about that bank, I wouldn't send them that death certificate over yet or anything, 'cause especially with it being behind, because you don't want them to accelerate or do anything with that loan. Just, let them, if they already know that you're on it and you're dealing with it, just let it sit for now, is what I would say. Because the least you have them involved in it, probably the better at this point. Because you don't want to give them any reason to say, well, nobody's going to be paying it, we're just going to take it, or anything silly. You know what I mean? What bank is that you're dealing with?
What bank am I dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
Mortgage company. It's the mortgage company's Ditech.
Ditech. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever dealt with that one. Yeah,
we
deal with a lot of different ones.
When I first bought the place, it was something else, and then Bank of America bought them out, and then Green Tree bought Bank of America out, and then Ditech bought out Green Tree. And actually, I got to be honest, Ditech's been pretty nice to me about the whole thing.
Yeah, because they're a smaller bank, so they probably won't give you too much headache. They just want to keep it on the, keep it current. Did they tell you how much the reinstatement was to keep to bring the loan current? I guess it's 4 or 5 months, or however long that is.
Yeah, I'm 4 months behind right now, and at the beginning of October it would be 5 months. So they're getting ready to probably send me foreclosure notices. But if you wanted to look at it and you were interested in it and you wanted to make me a deal, I'd just call them up, say, hey, I got the place sold. Can we make a deal here? I mean, and then we take it from there.
Yeah. So we have several options. We can probably make something happen with it. So you said you're available probably tomorrow afternoon or something, or when will you think you can meet me for the key?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. I got some stuff I have to do early in the day. I have to help somebody, and even though I'm not much help with my bad leg, right. I got to get up tomorrow and help somebody out. I'll be available around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so just give me a call when you get free, and I'll try to meet up with you and get the key and go over there and see what we can do with it. But I think we can do something with it. So like I said, we have several options. We're not like most people that just flip houses only. We do a little bit of everything. We do a lot of creative real estate where we just solve these problems. That's why ours even says full price, because most flippers and different people like that cannot buy a house full price at all or anywhere near, what you're asking for. You know what I mean? But we have some ways that we can, put some money in your pocket, solve the problem, and buy the house all at the same time. So,
man, that'd be great. I tell you what, that's why I called you. I see these places all the time that say they buy houses, but you said full price. And I'm not even asking for full price. I mean, once you put a little money into this house, the house is probably in the neighborhood that it's in. It's not the greatest neighborhood. It's not the worst. It's stable. It's a decent neighborhood. The school situations around it aren't the greatest, but the neighborhood itself isn't too bad. It's right by Carondelet Park, and
So your main goal here is to basically try to walk away with about how much in pocket?
Well, I'd like to walk away with like $4 or $5 grand if I could. If I got to come down from $5 grand, I will. But I'd like to walk away from something for something. I mean, I put over 10 grand in the place, after
right.
I paid 40 for it. And I mean, all I'm asking is around $31,000. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, either
That's
way,
fair.
I'm losing.
And you're a pretty fair person, so yeah. And I try to be fair as I can be. So I'll take a look at it, see what the repairs look like it's going to take. Do you know about how old the roof is?
The roof's not too bad. I mean, when I moved in it, I had a friend of mine who's a roofer get up there and look at it, and he goes, man, it looks good. And that was 15 years ago. Well, 15 years is going to give some wear and tear on the roof, but it's a flat roof. And it's never leaked on me or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with the roof, you know?
Right. And what about the foundation? Is everything good as far as the basement, or is there a basement there?
Yeah, there's a basement there. There's a washer and dryer in the basement and another bathroom. Remember I was telling you that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. You did tell me.
There's one spot with the foundation that kind of looks like it's bowed a little bit, but the house is 115 or more years old. And, it's like my friend looked at it. My friend who's a carpenter who builds houses, he looked at it, he goes, that's been like that 100 years. He goes, it'll be like that another 100 years.
Another 100 years, exactly.
I mean, it's not cracked or anything. There's no crack or nothing like that, I mean, it's a cinder block foundation. And I don't know, man. I never had mice or roaches or any of that when I lived there. There's centipedes that come up through the sewer, and that's about it. I never had roaches or bugs or mice or any of that shit. The house, I mean, man, like I said before, I had a lot of fun in the place. I know somebody can make a home out of this place. And
yeah,
I just
definitely
would rather, I'm losing money no matter what happens here, but I would rather walk away with something in my pocket than nothing,
And that's our exact goal. That's what we want to do, make it a win-win situation where everybody's happy and you don't have to deal with it, paying taxes and whatever else going on with it. Well, I guess it's already in the mortgage. So, maintenance, cutting grass, this stuff can be. Yes, Chris Monroe with St. Louis Cash Buyers.
Chris Monroe, is your name short for Christopher or Christian?
No, just Chris. I just go by Chris Monroe.
Okay, see, my brother, man, his name was Chris and his name was Christian. And, like I said, I just lost him 2 years ago in May. But,
wow.
So anytime I hear a guy say his name's Chris, man, it makes me think of my brother,
Wow,
but
yeah.
I'll give you a call tomorrow around 2 or 3 o'clock, man, and we'll see what you want to do.
Perfect. That'll work. Thanks a lot for your time, okay?
All right, Chris. Thanks a lot, and have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.